How many times has this happened to you? You're packing up for your camping trip, only to realize that your bag has limited space. You can't take your entire kitchen with you. To combat this issue, you are forced to downsize. Instead of all your pots and pans, you're forced to bring one little camping cook pot. How sad. I too found myself in this predicament. And because of this, I scoured the internet to find the cheapest cooking pan I could. Although everything I saw was like $10, which is way too much. So why would you buy that $5 pan when you could just spend $100 worth of tools and materials to build your own, which is actually worse quality than the $9 pan? That's what we'll be doing today. Come with me. We got some weldable steel. You can't see it right now, but somewhere inside of this canvas, there's a pan just waiting to be shaped. I have this steel wire that I will be attempting to bend into a handle for said pan, keeping it lightweight and sturdy. Now, going into this, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never used an angle grinder, and I've definitely never crafted anything out of metal before. So, we're gonna see what I can do. So I'm thinking we make this pan maybe, I think I'm gonna do 9 so that I can hammer a lip around the edges. This is my first time ever using an angle grinder, so I don't know if I would trust this guy with power tools. I'm gonna be honest. Since I spent all my money on a Harbor Freight grinder and a Milwaukee clamp, I decided to use 2 pieces of wood as a makeshift vise. Then I immediately drilled it into my workbench. That ain't going anywhere. I'm doing a couple test cuts to see what I'm getting into. And remember, safety #1 priority. Here I am making the first cut, and I think I put the guard on wrong because steel was just spraying at me the whole time. Plus, the steel came out extremely uneven. I was surprised at how well my little makeshift vise was working this entire time. Here I am imagining what it's going to be like when this is turned into a pan. This is an important step in the building process. It's like being an artist. You probably wouldn't understand. Now that we have our perfect square, I think now we're going to have to turn this square into a circle. This might be the most difficult part. I couldn't find anything the exact diameter that I wanted, so instead I just took this plant pot and used the curvature to trace around the corners, and I imagined that would make a circle around the size that I wanted. This is finally the moment when I realized how the grinder worked. You just have to push forward instead of actually trying to cut with it. This was a game changer for me. We have a circle. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite impressed. I didn't think I'd be able to make something that's resembled a circle. Now, I'm gonna try to clean up the edges. guy gets mildly comfortable, immediately starts using the grinder with one hand. No freaking way. It's basically a perfect circle. Time to do some thinking. Right here, what's going through my head is basically I'm thinking, do I want to bend this into a pan shape or do I want to attach the handle first? I decided to go with the lip of the pan. Again, I don't have a vise or an anvil, so I started using a normal hammer and the back of a sledgehammer axe. Well, we got our little lip, and it kind of looks like a very lumpy plate, which is exactly what I was going for. Gonna try to shave off some of these. You know, a little lumpy, but looks like a pan. Looks like a pan. I try to explain this terribly, but basically what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna bend this metal wire in half so that I can attach it to the pan in 2 spots. Ta-da! So I'm thinking I can just use my brute force to bend this, but I don't think it's gonna work. There's something out. Must have forgotten how strong I was. Now, how do we attach these? Going into this, I think there are a few options for how I can attach the handle to the pan. Option 1 would be welding, but I do not have a welder. Option 2 would be to maybe drill holes in it and secure it with nuts and bolts. I'll be going with option 3. I will be flattening out the steel rod and I will be hammering in my own homemade rivets to hold it in place. Yo, shout out to all the blacksmiths. This took forever to flatten this steel rod. Whoa, would you look at that? 2 flat little ears. It's a pretty long handle. Might come in handy. Alright, before you start roasting my Ryobi tools, I think something was wrong with these drill bits because I was drilling probably for like 30 minutes and the metal was actually getting so hot that it was burning a hole in the wood. So I think I had the wrong drill bits. These were probably for like drywall versus, you know, metal. We got our holes, we got our handle. Now we just have to cut off 2 pieces of this, hammer them in there like rivets. Got these bad boys. Gonna try to file down the ends to make them like a chamfer. You'll see. You can start to tell that at this point I'm getting way too comfortable with the grinder and I think I need to be stopped. This was my biggest mistake when you're trying to hammer a rivet in place. You want the hole to be slightly smaller than your rivet so that it will get stuck. Since mine weren't going in, I drilled the hole bigger than my rivets, making it incredibly hard to actually press fit them in. Here you can tell I'm getting desperate. I think I had been trying to get these rivets in place for like 30 minutes, and every time it seemed like they were going to get stuck, they would fall out. Well, I got one in, and man, did that take forever. Oh! It's uneven, lumpy, looks funny, but it is mine. And I made it with my bare hands. You just have to season this thing. Well, I'd be lying if that pan came out exactly how I wanted. I have enough steel in here for maybe another one, so let's try again. I'll spare you some time by speeding up this build. I was going to build a square pan this time, and I wanted to add like little handles on either side, kind of like a tray. And again, I don't have a vise, and I'm not strong enough to bend tiny little angles like that. Same broke. I was trying to not do this on the second time. Oh well. Is this actually better? I do not know. I did make it much faster. After all that hard work, we're left with two things that may be considered pans. Now we gotta put them through the gauntlet. I'm thinking we fry an egg in each of these. And we'll be doing it on the camp stove. The first test. Will they balance on this? Probably not. Pleasantly surprised. Very surprising that both will. Unfortunately, the center of gravity is like right here. Each pan will get one spray of oil. This looks terrible. It's completely sticking to the pan. Doesn't even look half bad. This was the square pan. This was the circle pan. Circle pan. You couldn't even tell that it wasn't cooked on a $50 stainless steel triple ply pan. Square pan. Very solid. I rate these eggs 8 out of 10. Maybe it's a bit sad how ugly the pan is, and maybe one day I'll fix it or make another one. But right now, I think it's good enough. If I had all the tools and the proper place to build it, maybe it would have been stronger, prettier, or taken a quarter of the time to build it. But what's the fun in that? What's wrong with making do with what you have? Or taking the long route to do something? I know now that I won't take these for granted, because if anything happens to them or if they break, I can fix them. If you made it this far, thanks for watching.